Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm doing insane recently, just had another 20% month or something, so market condition more or less back to what I was having at the start of the year. I was taking loads of 20% months guys, it was relatively common, and then we had a couple slow months, happens in the markets, and here we are back with another 20% month. Today obviously I'm breaking down a 1 to 10 on GJ. I plan to make this video today, and seemingly we have GC trying to make me look good. Coincidentally we had this trade today, and it's more or less taken off 1 or 2 candles. TP1 already, maybe it missed by 1 or 2 pips, not sure. Looking really good on that one. And then over here, this is the GA trade that we're going to be going through today. Another 1 to 10. To be honest, I've hit quite a lot of 1 to 10s recently with the 20% month. Like I said, added another 200k to the capital. We got another 200k account here on ACG, so looking pretty good. Obviously this is what we're going to be going through today. Maybe as a bonus I'll throw in this little GC breakdown. Whether it ends up winning or not, we'll see, but might as well go through that. I had an amazing reaction so far. Another thing I wanted to show quickly is this over here. Now this is literally a section that I made in my Discord about 2 weeks ago, and already this is ridiculous. The amount of payouts, past challenges we've had is completely insane. Keep in mind, this is not even a big Discord. We only have maybe 200 to 250 active members, and so yeah, this is pretty insane results to see all of this in just 2 weeks. Just wanted to show you guys that, and obviously today we're going through a GA trade, so let's jump into the markets and we'll break down that position. Alright, as usual, let's of course start this by showing, here's a trade signal I put out, nice and simple, said one entered, showed the trade is what it is. This is what it looked like before, which looks pretty ridiculous to see all that clear space, see the TP tool, and I guess it just gives people that sort of sense of what's actually possible, seeing a trade like this play out, because I know a lot of people in the trading space have limiting beliefs, and they don't think you can do things such as hitting 1 to 10, trading 30-minute time frame as well, especially because for me it's relatively common. So I just wanted to put that out there. Obviously, you know, you have trade-offs, right? We have some slow periods sometimes. No strategies could be 100% the best with anything, but with ours, it's great to be able to hit trades like these and to be relatively easy to become profitable with the strategy. This right here is obviously the trade, so let's jump into why I took this. Why I aimed for a target this high as well, that's especially important, and of course the price action and the structure behind this trade. So first off, I'll put this in replay mode so you can see what I was actually seeing at the time and sort of how we were positioned. It's easy to just see it afterwards, but obviously that's not what we were seeing in the moment, so it will make more sense if I go into replay mode. Right here is where I took the entry. Very simply, we trade liquidity supply and demand on the 30-minute time frame. It's my own strategy. RD concept is what we use. We need liquidity, we need an untapped zone, and all the rest of it. If you want to learn this full guide, I'll have it pop up on screen here and you can check it out. For now, that's just a simple rundown of what we look for. Basically, we have normal supply and demand zone right here. We'll get faked out, that one loses and our zone ends up winning, which was this zone right here. Off this drawing, you can sort of see that exactly played out in the live markets. It doesn't always look exactly like that picture. This was just an A+ trade where it happened to just look that simple. So looking left, the most important thing for us is that we're clearly in trend. Right here, obviously that was the case. If you look at what we were doing, we were consistently making highs and we weren't taking out any lows. The most important thing for us was that we actually took out the major high first. This was a major high to the left and it hadn't been taken out in a long time. We consistently kept trying and every time it seemed to fail. So before we actually took out this high, the trade was relatively questionable, right? We weren't 100% certain on taking demands. We did try here to take one and look for us to take out the high, and it ended up never happening. So we took a small loss on this one, a very small 1 to 3 here. Again, at this point we weren't certain on the trend, and we just took a 1 to 3 for multiple reasons. I think this was actually maybe my last video, so you can check that out if you want to see this trade. But for this one, it was a 1 to 10. We had wiped the overall high, that was important for us. And so once we had passed this level, this is where we had the potential for this 1 to 10 and large TPs. So if we look to the left right here, what was above this major high? First off, we obviously had a minor high right here to reach. Now, we could look for that, but in terms of the actual market, this doesn't really have any significance. As you can see, it was a random news release by the looks of things. It doesn't really line up with too many levels, and so we have sort of a support right here. But the main thing is the actual structure. We're not looking for specific highs and lows, we're looking for the recent structure. The recent structure is this whole move right here. It's a straight line move from this top to this bottom. So we have a range that can easily be corrected if we are bullish, and we can move straight through this. So more or less, somewhere up here was the target we were looking for. Now, if I go back to the position, you can see that was very far away. Now, we capped our positions out 1 to 10, just because you don't want to be up, let's say, 7%, and then it just retraces and you lose the trade. That's not sustainable. We're all humans, we all have psychology. At the point when you're taking 1 to 10s, it's not really important. You're already more than profitable enough. And so we currently cap at 1 to 10s in most cases. If you look right here, this was obviously the 1 to 10. If I just get it on properly. So that's what we went for. Max risk to reward trade, more or less filled most of the range to our potential targets anyway. And that was the trade. Very simply, if you look at that, played out very nice and easily. So obviously you do need to have at least some intermediate level trading psychology to be able to hold a position like this. It retraced quite a lot. My initial TP was actually somewhere around the 1 to 9 or 9.5, and it missed by a tiny amount before doing this whole retracement. At that point, obviously, we were sort of part of the second leg, and we were actually looking to extend this through the whole range. But if you look at how this opened, it just gapped on market open on Friday, opened at TP, and there was no chance. So that was this one. And yeah, obviously, if you look at the timing, around 10 PM, I was already asleep, and so didn't get a chance to move this position. Is what it is. Can't complain about hitting a 1 to 10, of course. So it was a very simple trade. Everyone in the Discord more or less took this one, A+ trade. Now, one thing I want to note about my entry is that it was actually worse than it could have been. So the entry on this trade, the best entry here was a flip entry, and that was the valid one we should have taken. If you look at how this moved, right, we already had one candle tap the zone and goes rejecting, and the second one came all the way down to the bottom of the zone, all the way back up and flipped. Very obvious, very clear rejection, and so this is the type of trade we like to get in on flip, where you can just see it's going to close bullish, you can see it's moving very nicely, and that was actually the correct entry. I wasn't around when it happened. Obviously you saw on the signal, when I put it out, it was just came back home and seen GJ late. So that's why I ended up taking it here. It was actually even more of an insane trade than what we saw. So yeah, currently there's only a couple things extra on this trade that I haven't really touched on. The first one is TP1 placement. So if I put this TP on right here and we move to the left, this is more or less the first area that we can guaranteed hit. Now this just means that we're always taking profit home from most of our trades. So this is obviously important. If you just aim for 1 to 10s every time, that's not really sustainable. There'll be so many times where maybe it goes to 1 to 7, then retraces to break even. That is the type of thing that makes people go on tilt, just lose their mind in psychology. We have to be sustainable, we have to lock in profits. So the TP1 in this case was actually placed to just lock in profits. We're pretty confident it will go up here, but that was the reason for it, right? We closed half a TP1. Sometimes we don't even have a TP2, it depends on exactly what the markets are giving us. That's what's important. We don't fix our risk to reward at random numbers just because we want to. We want to actually take advantage of the markets and the trades we're taking. Capping your risk reward for no reason, to be honest, is holding back so many traders out there, and there's actually a chance that a lot of them would probably be profitable who are at break even right now if they just let their winners run longer. If they could do proper analysis, see what the market's actually giving them, then it would make things so much easier. Clearly though, for this one, doesn't need much explanation. It was the first major level, or relatively major at least. A couple taps here on this sort of area. There was a couple more to the left, sort of around here. So that's just where we took it. We don't need to force anything. It was already at a pretty decent distance. It was about a 1 to 4.5. Overall, this trade was around 7.25%. So, I mean, yeah, you can't really complain about that, can you? Now, secondly, I've pretty much had a 20% month this month. A little bit more now, maybe around 23, 25, I'm not sure, with this GJ trade. There was an EU position I missed for a very easy 4 or 5% or something like that, which I can add in there as well. So this is what we're looking at. We had a 4.75% on Germany 30. Very nice, simple trade right there. A couple nice positions on EU. See, I broke these ones down. We had this one was a 1 to 10 and this one was a 1 to 5. Very, very nice. GJ had a 1 to 3 this month as well. And yeah, there was a couple others, I think. I can actually check the Discord for the trades we've taken this month. So in October, 3% on GJ. We had this EU trade, that was the first one. This is one right here I missed. I sent this out on the morning of the trade in the daily forecast, but I just wasn't here. So there was this one, another 5% on EU, 4.5% Germany 30, and then 7.25% on GJ. Very simple month, very easy. We have a GC trade currently playing out, which has potential to make it even better. Like we said, big old retracement candle right there. So this TP1 hit on some of my accounts, thankfully. On the rest it missed, just because of, different numbers, slightly different placements. It was about 0.1 pips away. If this ends up not winning, then that's fine. When we come this close to TP1 and we retrace, we normally always at break even. Just because that's easy on psychology. Taking a loss, again, like we said, when you're this close, is not very sustainable. Everything in trading, you want it to be focused on being sustainable, keeping your psychology in check, and this is what's going to keep you in the game for a long time, as opposed to just having home runs and then just losing everything. So that's the idea behind it. See, the more professional side of trading, that's the way to go and what you want to look for. Currently I've actually extended TP1 on this trade. We're looking at somewhere between this area. We'll see how it moves. I've just got it at the furthest target right now, but that's what we're looking for. And TP1 is going to stay here. So that's that. Actually, this is the type of thing you could take advantage of. When we do push back up at this point, I could extend the actual TP1 and the accounts didn't hit, because we're more or less part of the second leg by the time it comes back up. So we can look to move further. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one as well. Overall, pretty incredible month, guys. I mean, you saw the results, so everyone in the Discord. This is relatively normal for the strategy. I hate to say it because it seems so out there and so ridiculous, but the strategy is very good. What can I say? We pay our dues with a couple slow months here and there, but that's expected when you're trading something this good. Towards the start of the year, like I said, I was having 20% months as well. I was living in Malaysia for some time over there, so I was trading Asia session as well, which was very helpful. This month, guys, with Asia session as well, was absolutely ridiculous, and I'm talking maybe 40%. We had insane trades on UJ, trades on AN, trades on GA. Yeah, they were just going crazy. So that's more or less all for today's video. Just a quick one, breaking down that trade, showing you guys that it's possible to have months like this in trading, and hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I'll see you all in the next one.